I'm Justin Mott, and welcome to my home here in Hanoi, Vietnam. And if you're new here, my channel is dedicated to all things photography from the perspective of a full-time working professional photographer. And as photographers, we take your picture, we take time off to take pictures, we take time off to travel, we take our gear with us, we take your time to take your pictures. We're takers. Now, this camera allows you to give, and today I'm going to explain why. This is the Leica Sofort 2. I've been using it for a little bit. It's found its way into my camera bag permanently. So let's get into it and let's talk photography. Alright guys, as always, don't forget to check out my online store at justinmott.com. I've got a variety of one-on-one classes aimed at all levels of photographers interested in all genres, aimed to help you become a better photographer. I've also got prints, I've also got presets that will not make you a better photographer, but they will add some popular images. So YouTube is filled right now with reviews about this little camera here because it's Leica's most affordable camera, coming in at around $400 US. This is the Leica Sofort 2, and it's essentially a instant camera, a Polaroid camera. You can print images directly out of it. It does have a screen so you can preview your images. I'm not going to go through all the features because that's not what I do. That's not what my channel is all about. My channel is about my take on things. If you want to see all the specs and all the features, all the bells and whistles, all the doodads, you can see them right here. You can pause it and see that and read and move on. So what do I mean when I say this camera allows you to give instead of taking? Well, what I mean by that is, as photographers, we have a reputation of sort of being quite selfish, taking up people's time, asking people to take a moment to take their portrait on the street in street photography. Even me personally, I'll stick with me personally today. So for me, when I do projects, personal projects, or even when I'm doing street photography, I might trouble someone for a moment of their time to take their portrait if I find them interesting. Or if I'm doing a project, the Northern White Rhino story, for example, I'm taking up a lot of people's time. I'm following that subject around day after day, waiting for moments, and I'm taking their picture nonstop. But what are they getting out of it? Sure, a lot of times my intentions are genuine. I want to get these stories out there. I want to get them published. I want to raise awareness. But let's be honest, at the end of the day, when you're following people around and you're asking so much of them, you're asking for their time, not only their time, you're asking them to be there and to capture intimate moments. Even if you do send the digital files, how often are those people actually printing the files? And let's be honest too, when you do street photography and you're meeting people, if you didn't exchange information, are you ever sending them a digital file? Are they ever getting their picture? The answer is most likely no. And that can sort of create a bad exchange with people and photographers. We can get a reputation. I think we do have a reputation a lot for taking and not giving anything back. And we're all guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. I do my best in all my stories to push them out there, to get them out there. But when I'm doing street photography, when I'm doing assignment photography, and I'm in a rush, I don't always send people photographs. And I definitely don't always send them prints of themselves. So that's where this camera comes in. It's an instant camera. I'm not even making the case for this specific camera. It just happens to work for me. But this camera allows you to print a picture and give it to someone. So this camera has now made it into my bag. It's not very heavy. It's a small form factor. It can slide into my bag. How I'll use it personally, let's say, again, with my Northern White Rhino story, let's stick with that. I'm following Zachariah, the head caretaker, day after day, and there might be chances where I'm like, oh, this is a really nice portrait, right? There's a moment where it's like, this is a nice shot. Not just a nice shot for my project, not just a nice shot for the story, but a nice shot for him to have forever, a keepsake, if you will. And so for a moment like that, a moment like this is really cool. I took this photo. I wish I had this camera after I took this photo. In that moment, it would have been so nice just to be able to say, hey, let me give you this print and you can have it for yourself. And the cool thing about this camera compared to other instant cameras, and why I like it, it also syncs up with the Leica Photos app. So if I wanted to in the moment take another shot using this camera, but I could have also just sent the image that I took with my Leica M10D over to the Leica Photos app like I just did here, and printed it directly through this. So it acts as a camera, it also acts as a printer. I'll probably use it as a hybrid for a little bit of both, but that's such a missed opportunity. I mean, there's so many opportunities, but it's not just for people like me that do documentary. You do it for yourself, a little keepsake, a little memory. You could, as a wedding photographer, you could use it for the couple on the day of, the nice little bonus gift for them. Hey, this portrait's working out really well. If you have a Leica, you could send the Leica Photos app, but if you want to just bust this camera out, take that same portrait again, print it out for them, that's nice. If you're a street photographer and you've pulled someone aside because they're really interesting looking and they were very helpful and you took a portrait of them and you want to give something back, and you should give something back, boom, right there. Take their portrait with this camera, give them a print. That's a nice exchange. So what a nice thing to do. I think for $400 to have that, to be able to give back to all the subject, all the time that I've taken as a photographer, all the time that you guys have taken as a photographer, I think overall for a reputation, or even just your own reputation, it's a nice thing to do. But even just broadly speaking, for all you photographers out there, it's good for us to sort of enhance our reputation by doing things like this and making up for all those times that you said you were going to send the photo or you wanted to print that photo out and give it to someone. Now you can do it, and you can do it right then, so you're not going to miss that opportunity. So that's why this camera now has found its way full-time in my camera bag. It'll come with me on all my personal work and all my assignments. So this isn't a big sell on the Leica Sofort 2 specifically. Again, you can buy a cheaper version of this. I encourage everyone to have a camera like this in your bag so you can give instead of taking. The reason I chose this camera, the reason I like this camera is I do like the aesthetic of it. I do like the color of it. I don't know. I'm into that kind of stuff that matters to me. But in addition to that, the integration with Leica Photos app that I talked about before, that's really important to me. The fact that I can take a picture with my M10D and then to be able to print it out with this camera here and give my subject the picture. Sorry, Zachariah, I will bring this to you. I will be going back there and I'll bring this picture to you, but I'll be taking this camera with me from now on. Let me know if this is something you're interested in. If you are interested in buying this camera, it would be helpful to use the affiliate link. It does help the channel, but you don't have to. And don't buy the camera because I said so. Buy it because you want it. Buy it because you use it. Buy it because you want to give instead of take. That's all for today, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to check out my online store at justinmott.com. I've got workshops, I've got classes, I've got presets, and I've also got prints available like this with free shipping with the US and Canada. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to have a wonderful day.